Hello everybody and welcome to week 36, I think, is week in review. Week 36 is week in review here on my channel of teaching myself how to draw. As usual, we'll start with looking at these poses. And as usual, I have nothing to say. I'm still, so basically what I want to do is, I think once November rolls around, I want to do a deep dive on some of the things that I really have a lot of trouble with. I always mention it, right? Like the kind of the transition between the torso and the pelvis, the belly area, I have a lot of trouble with, and kind of like making sure there's enough space here. Sometimes they're a little cramped. That's one of the things that I want to practice. Some of the other things are like the neck and shoulder area. I would like to work on that too. You know, this sort of thing. I feel like my shoulders are generally, I'm not really giving them the space that they need sometimes, so I want to do like a deep dive specifically on the shoulders and the neck too, you know, like sometimes I lose the neck, the head gets too crammed close to the body, so that's another one. What else? Oh, elbows and knees, that's another one. I don't really know how elbows look at different angles or like at different like levels of bend of the arm. So that's another one that I want to practice. And knees as well. Knees from behind. What does that look like, you know? Like there's little like lines on the knees that are visible sometimes. I want to kind of get an idea of how to do those. So that's another one. What else? I feel like I have a list somewhere, but I forgot where it is. Oh, you know what? It's right over here. Let me read it. It's right here. Shape of the head. That's another one. I'm getting a little better at it, but it's still, I'm basically just drawing a circle and then kind of extending it down, you know? It's not ideal. Like I don't really have enough of a plan yet. So I want to do something specifically practicing the head, just so that I have a little bit more of an idea of how to draw it in, because I usually struggle. It takes me 2 or 3 tries with each of these figures. Or sometimes there's like, you know, you could see like 8 or 7 lines or whatever, 8 or 7. Like all these lines that I'm doing here, trying to find the correct one. I want to just like cut that down a bit, you know? So that's another thing I want to practice. What else? Hands and feet, of course. I like drawing hands, but only from like this side. Like the, what is it called? Like this, with the palm, not looking at the palm, the dorsal side or whatever it's called. I don't really know how to draw it from the other side with the palm, so I want to practice that. And I want to practice the knuckles a little more too, just a little bit, and then also feet, hands and feet, you know. I think the shape of the feet I'm like okay with, but I don't really draw toes ever, you know. The issue I have with feet is it always feels like they're kind of shooting off in the wrong direction, or it feels like the ankles are broken often, you know? Like this. This ankle is way too far this way, right, you know? But like, I never really get the angle correct. So this one's kind of okay, you know? Some of them are alright, but it's hard for me to get the angle of the feet right. So I need to kind of think about that too. And then finally, the last thing I want to do with figures, so it's six days of practice, I think. I'll do it over 1 week. Just like a quick reminder kind of thing that I'll do, I think once November rolls around, is perspective and things like eye level. What I basically want to do is take any of these poses and draw like the floor that they're standing on, and like, you know, like a box containing them, you know? Like I want to be able to kind of visualize that a little more. It's hard for me to do. I don't know how to do it, you know? Some of these are really confusing. Like this one's a little easier because I could tell that he's like flat on the ground here, and I can kind of go out like this with the legs and then bring that up, you know? Maybe something like that. I don't know. You know, I want to be able to like understand how to do that a little better. So I'll probably do, and like eye level. So like with this one, if the eye level is like here or whatever, right? Wherever it is. How all of that plays into figure drawing, you know? I don't know. I just want to kind of dip my foot in the water with that, and then I'll return to it a little later, more in depth. I have a bit of a plan, which I'll get into a little later, I think. This is today's poses, by the way. Once November rolls around, I'll start kind of a new thing. With October, I'm still working through Hollow October here, so I don't want to really fill my brain with too much stuff yet. Speaking of Hollow October, why don't we get into what I drew this week, hey? So, this is the first one I drew on the 17th. I had the idea of sitting on like the steps here, but again, with perspective, I was like, I don't know how to really draw steps. Pretty much at all. But I think the figure turned out okay. I kind of rushed through a lot of the shadow phase. These are all usually done in about 3 hours. All of these quick daily kind of color roughs here. I kind of struggled with the hair and the clothing. It's a pretty simple outfit, but I like the shoes. I think they turned out okay. Honestly, I don't remember even drawing this. Well, I remember drawing it, but I don't remember what I was thinking with or what I struggled with or whatever. I think the background was pretty tough. I just basically whipped in this cloud at the last minute, so I don't know, there's not a whole lot to say with this one, so I forgot. It's been too long. Let's move on to the next one, hey? Next was also a very similar thing. I wanted to these poses where they're sitting on something, I want to draw what they're sitting on too, And so I tried to do whatever I could, this is Kyla here, to kind of guess what the angle would be here, what they're sitting on. I don't know if I really got it. I really can't tell. So that's what I mean. That's the kind of thing I want to practice, I just don't get this stuff. It's hard for me to visualize it, so yeah, that was that. And this, I don't know if this wall really makes sense with it kind of getting smaller this way. But I like the idea of the logo being like on the step that they're sitting on. So yeah, that's what I tried to do with this one too. But this one's just really flat, right? It's a little boring. Anyway, next, I drew Ollie here, catching the bouquet at a wedding. I think the prompt was wedding. I honestly don't remember. It was something like that, and the first thing that comes to mind is Ollie when I think of wedding. I wanted to detail this figure more, so and like maybe put another one on this side to like show how like fanatically how frenzied she is in jumping for the bouquet. But I just didn't have time. But this one was fun. Again, I don't know what I'm doing with these collars. It's like paper thin, right? I never know what to do with collars. And this sort of thing, this frilly, fluffy stuff, I'm getting a little better at. I draw it here and there, every now and then it comes up. This kind of frilly, poofy sleeve thing, and I think it looks okay. I think this one was fun. Her hair was really fun to do. It's pretty simple. I thought it would be more difficult, but it's actually quite simple. It's just a series of like almost these ribbon kind of things. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, not really anything else to say there. Next, this one was an outfit swap. That was the prompt. I don't know if I really like what I did with the background. The more I look at this, I think it's a little too busy, but I like this one. I tried to pick basically like simple poses, but poses that were similar but different, like they're basically doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Whenever I have two figures I always try to, in a frame or like a composition, I try to try to have like one pose made up of two figures. I like trying to do that. So I had Watame throw her leg in front, and I think it worked pretty well. Just something simple. I like the expression. So this one was pretty fun. One thing that surprised me is their outfits are very similar. They both have like something on their like arms like this, like the poofy sleeves here. And then they've got like kind of like a skirt sort of thing. They both wear the same kind of boots. And they also have like something on their neck and then like open shoulders. And like while I was drawing this, they're basically wearing the same outfit anyway. So I think that's why it kind of works. It's kind of cool. Yeah, this one was fun. It took a long time because it's 2 figures. So, but I think it's fine. You know, whatever. It was fun. Next, this is Roboko here. This was for the swimsuit prompt. So she's technically wearing like a one-piece swimsuit, I guess. Her knees were really fun to draw, and these like robotic feet. But as you can see, the background is just, there's nothing there. Because I wanted to do what she's sitting on again. I've been kind of doing that this week, right? At least with the first 2, and then with this one. I couldn't figure it out though. I couldn't get the perspective, and so I think what I'll do is I'll revisit this one, and I'll try and figure out how to do like whatever she's sitting on in the future when I practice perspective. It's like maybe something like this, I don't know. Back maybe? I don't know if she's sitting on a bench or what, but maybe the side of a pool. I just couldn't figure it out, you know. So she's at the moment sitting in the void. Exactly. So that's that one. This was a really fun one though. I think I did a pretty nice job on the hair. I don't know if her eyes are like ketchup and mustard a little too much, but I think it looks fine. Next. And then this is the last one I did of the day. Can you see my brush? I guess you can. This is, I really like how this one turned out actually. I recorded it for a time lapse too. I tried to stay zoomed out and everything, so I'll probably be recording a commentary and uploading this one as a time lapse later. But this is Aki Rosenthal and Muki Rose with his his mosaic thing. I don't know. This one really made me laugh as I was working on it, which is fun. I like it when when the composition makes me laugh, you know? I always try and think of something that is funny, like I did with the Ollie one, you know? I like compositions that are kind of funny like that, but anyway, this one was pretty fun all the way through. It took me like almost 5 hours, I think, maybe more. I pretty much guessed with these muscles, to be honest. I had a bit of reference, but not like proper reference of kind of like what the muscles look like, so a lot of it was just guessing, but I think it looks fine. I think his hair looks cool too, and the way this one like kind of blocks the eye, I think it's a cool touch. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say with this one, do I? I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with Hollow October. It's a lot of work. I end each day like completely exhausted after the stream, because it's like, you know, usually I'm going for like 4 hours or something with these, so it's a lot of thinking, a lot of brain power goes into it. But I think it's fun. It's really good practice, because it's, when I do fan art, I want to do a good job of it, right? So yeah, still one more ish week to go, and then I'll be moving on to something else, eh? So I'll keep going with Hollow October until then. And that's about it for my weekly recap, at least. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say, do I? Not really. Yeah. I guess I'll be back next week with another recap then, eh? Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week. Yay! Cut.